I've forgotten how to draw faces. Hi there, my name is Chantal. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'm a bit out of sorts with sketching faces. I got pretty decent at it when I was doing it consistently, but now I'm bad. I've been focusing on other things and I really need to get back in the swing of it quickly. I'm going to be drawing 100 faces in one day. Let's get going. This is my setup. I've got some colour pencils, I've got some masking tape because I want to be able to tape down the page so it doesn't move, because on the camera it's really jarring in a time lapse when it moves. I've got a couple of rubbers, I've got some highlighters but I don't know if I'm going to use them. Got some random pens and pencils, and this is the board that I'm using. It's by Lil Star Nerd and she used it for her 100 head challenge, but I like how they're there's a lot of women and there's not a lot of sculptures. That's what I like, and that's why I'm using it over the Amidadori one, which I've already done. I'm using my little messy sketchbook. I've got my camera here. Oh yeah, I upgraded to a table today because of my back. I've got a cushion. I've got hot water bottle, cause you know, and a classic tripod on a box. I think that's everything. I am procrastinating. Let's just do it. Get myself inside, I'm gonna close all of my blinds. I'll read or write, I'm working, hope you'll finally leave my mind. But you're still dancing in the air, still feel your hands run through my hair. I try and occupy my mind, but I can't hide. It's too soon and it's too fast. I try to fight it, hoping that it wouldn't last. Build a world and build it fast. I can't deny it, expectations you surpassed. Need some time to think it through without you, but you're sublime and I just can't escape. Gonna get myself inside, I'm gonna close all of my blinds. I'll read or write and work and hope you'll finally leave my mind. But you're still dancing in the air, still feel your hands run through my hair. I try and occupy my mind, but I can't hide. You're everywhere, everywhere, you're everywhere. No, everywhere, everywhere, you're everywhere. No, if you knew it from the start, you should have said it. You turn longing into art, paint with words and play the part. My partner has bought the goods. My heart needs some time to think it through without you, but you're sublime and I just can't say. Gonna get myself inside, I'm gonna close all of my blinds. I'll read or write and work, hope you'll finally leave my mind. But you're still dancing in the air, still feel your hands through my hair. Try and occupy my mind, but I can't hide. You're everywhere, everywhere, you're everywhere. No, everywhere, everywhere, you're everywhere. No, you're in the grocery lines and you're in the corner floor worship moments that turn into signs. You're everywhere, it all reminds me of you and having my life through and through moments that turn into clues. You're everywhere, everywhere, you're everywhere. It's almost 2 hours and I'm almost a quarter of the way through. I need to be faster. I really need to be faster. I kind of worked out it would be about 2 to 3 minutes per head and I think I'm currently on like 5 to 10, so I need to be a lot faster. I've just started using Biro and I think they look a lot worse, but that's definitely helping me speed up. So I might do a little bit more in pen, maybe even crack out the gel pens. But if you saw my last face challenge, you'll know that gel pen is very difficult to get right. I think I'm gonna crack on now and just try and get them done a lot faster, because otherwise I'm gonna be here all day and all night. This challenge included a lot of figuring things out as I went along. I started with graphite and creating pieces that I actually liked, and that really wasn't sustainable. At the beginning I was using guidelines on every single one and I tried to create really lovely pieces. You can see that by this point I'd completely stopped using guidelines and just winged it. I only had like a couple of minutes per head in theory, so guidelines I didn't have time for that. I feel like in some ways that might have actually helped because there was nothing that I needed to rub out or darken the lines for to make it make sense. There was nothing underneath. And there were a lot of little habits like that I had to change as I was going along. I was also aware that I didn't have too many pages left in this sketchbook, so I think that's why a lot of the heads are kind of crammed on each page. I think colour pencil was the best medium for me. I picked out lots of different colours, but I do think the darker shades were the best. It was kind of hard to see a lot of the lighter shades, so that did kind of restrict the colours that I could use. Biro, I've never been able to get the hang of. Gel pen is the least forgiving medium possible. I've always struggled with gel pen because you can't do guidelines, you have to completely commit with everything. But you know what, this red gel pen page might have actually been my fastest. I also tried to use the zebra mild liners to draw with, but that was really difficult. I use pretty much every drawing medium that I have. I don't have any markers, but I don't think I would have had time for that anyway. And to be fair, my biggest goal for this challenge was to get better at drawing faces. It wasn't about shading. Watercolour is my main medium, so shading isn't really necessary. I just need a good base sketch to begin with, and that's what this challenge is definitely focusing on. One thing that I really struggled with in this challenge is the spacing. I don't know if you can tell, but every face ends up bigger than it's supposed to be. In my earlier sketches, when I used guidelines, the circles would start in the right place, and then I would add the eyes, and the eyes would be so big that the guidelines meant nothing. That's also half the reason that I stopped using guidelines. It just didn't make any sense, because I kind of bypassed the guidelines anyway. A lot of the faces don't have a full head or all of their hair inside, and that's because I just gradually work bigger. I don't know how it happens. I put the eyes down and then I draw the entire face massive. I don't know how that happens. But every single face is missing a full head. And that's sad because I think if I was better with the composition, the spreads could have looked better. The aim of the challenge wasn't to create lovely spreads. I just think it might have been a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to look back on if the spreads looked a bit nicer. I just kept running out of room on the page every single time. The colour pencils I'm using are the Faber-Castell Polychromos and the Caran d'Ache Luminance. Neither of them rub out particularly well. I do also have erasable Faber-Castell colour pencils, but they have very little pigment, so my options were to use a colour pencil that rubs out, or a graphite that rubs out, or to use a colour pencil that barely rubs out, and I think that was the best solution because something like the Faber-Castell Polychromos, you can kind of rub out, you can make it fade, you just can't completely rub it out. It gave me the confidence to just put it down on paper, and if it went horrifically wrong, I could kind of make it fade and I could kind of darken other bits so it would be less noticeable. Whereas the Caran d'Ache Luminance do not erase in the slightest. I figured out a lot during this challenge and I also got a lot faster. The first quarter took forever, but I got so fast, especially towards the end. You can see on the stopwatch that most of these heads were done in about 3 minutes, which was kind of what I was planning. It's a little bit longer than I would have liked, but I realised quite early on that I wasn't going to be able to complete the challenge as fast as I thought. Because I wanted the heads to resemble a human, I just had to spend a couple more minutes on each one, but nothing too crazy. Okay, it is 5:30. I'm on head number 76 now starting. And this is how long we've been going. Kind of regretting it, honestly. I'm gonna go back to pencils and just try and hammer it out really. I might just do the other side of the page in biro and then go back to pencils. I don't know. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it. the final 10. Can you believe it? The finish line is in sight. The last like 40 heads I have done so quickly compared to the first 20, honestly. Like, what did it take me? Like 3 or 4 hours to do the first quarter, and I am racing through now. Like, the first page is probably much better than every other page. Now I think I'm spending about 4 or 5 minutes on each sketch, maybe like 3 minutes on some. At the beginning I was spending closer to 10, and that's just not possible. I've got quite a few pages left, so I might actually do them a little bit bigger. I don't know if I'm going to do them slower though, to be honest. Maybe, maybe not. The finish line is in sight and we're on 6 hours 14. I did it! I'm so tired. My hands hurt, my back hurt. It took 7 hours and 2 minutes. I'm gonna go rest now. I will show you all the faces in the morning. Let's have a little flip through. It's the next day and I'm feeling slightly better. I used pencil for the first spread, and honestly, these took close to 10 minutes each, and that just was not doable. I think some were a little bit shorter, but I really had to speed things up. I like this one, I like that one, and I do quite like that one. Then I moved on to my mechanical pencil and I couldn't get it anywhere near as dark, so I actually wasn't a fan, although I do quite like this one. I switched to Biro and I quite like this one, number 21, but Biro was difficult because you had to commit so much. Again, Biro didn't really work, so I switched to colour pencil, and these are very different kind of styles because again, like, you have to commit, but they're okay, I think. The gel pen I could not get to work, and these were difficult too, but that one's kind of cute. Then I decided to do like full coloured spreads. These were so quick because honestly I wasn't even halfway at this point and I'd been going like 4 hours or something, so I had to speed up. I also did these, which I'm somewhat happy with. I kind of forgot to put eyelashes on every single person. Oh no, she has eyelashes. Back to pencil again. They are worse because I did them faster. The hardest part of this challenge was just really quickly popping stuff down and moving on, even if you're not happy with it, because I know if I'd have refined these I could have made them better, but obviously I couldn't because of the time. That one's kind of cute, but the gel pen was really hard, so I decided not to. It's just like not being able to erase that I really struggled with. You have to commit even if it looks awful. There were a few people on the Pinterest board that I have actually done before in a way, and I think she was one, and I think he might have been one too, maybe for the 100 heads. That one is horrific, don't look at that one is horrific too. So basically I got to the final 10 and you know I said I think I'm going to take my time and make them nice. Yeah, my hands and my head just did not work with that. I couldn't do it at all. That boy's kind of cute though, but yeah, my hands were not working at this point, but I did it. I did the entire challenge. Honestly, I'm proud of myself for doing it, but I don't have any recollection of these pages. Most of them I don't even remember doing. It was just so crazy. It took 7 hours and it was definitely my most difficult challenge yet. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this kind of crazy challenge, and please let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see me attempt. Thank you so much for being here and supporting my channel. It really means the world. We're now past 2k and honestly, thank you so much. I'd love if you could like and subscribe, and I'll see you on Sunday for a chill video. Bye bye.